I still remember the smell of the hospital hallway, that morning mist mixed with antiseptic. My legs were shaking so badly, I had to lean against the wall just to stay upright. The nurse at the desk had told me, "Room 412. Your sister's already waiting inside to check on you before surgery." I smiled through the pain. That was so typical of Elena. Ever since we were little, she'd always been the protective one. When Mom died, Elena was the one who held me while I cried myself to sleep. When I got engaged, she planned every detail of my wedding. And now, when a routine cyst on my ovary turned out to be potentially serious, she dropped everything to fly across the country and stay by my side. I knocked softly on the pre-op room door. "Come in, sweetie," her familiar voice called. I pushed the door open, for already in my arm, heart full of gratitude. "Thank you for being here, Elena. I don't know what I'd do without." The words died in my throat. The person standing at the foot of my bed wasn't wearing visitor scrubs. She was wearing full surgical gown, mask hanging around her neck, cap covering her hair. But those eyes, those cold green eyes I'd known my whole life, were staring straight at me. It was Elena, my sister, about to operate on me. I laughed nervously. "Wait, you're on the surgical team? You never told me you were assisting." She didn't smile back. She just tilted her head and said, very quietly, "I'm not assisting, Sophia. I'm the surgeon today." The room spun. Elena wasn't a surgeon. She was a pharmaceutical rep. She'd never even finished medical school. That's when the young nurse behind her dropped a chart, papers scattering everywhere. While she scrambled to pick them up, she looked up at me with pure panic in her eyes and mouthed two words I'll never forget. "Hide. Trap." My blood turned to ice. Something was very, very wrong. They wheeled me toward the operating room 20 minutes later. I kept telling myself it was a misunderstanding. Elena loved me. She'd never hurt me. But the nurse's terrified face wouldn't leave my mind. Just before they pushed me through the double doors, that same nurse appeared again, pretending to adjust my fore. She leaned close to my ear and whispered so fast I almost missed it. "Your sister paid the real surgeon to disappear. She changed the charts herself. If you go under anesthesia today, you won't wake up. Run when I distract them." I wanted to scream, but the sedative was already dripping into my vein, making everything soft at the edges. The last thing I saw before the doors closed was Elena pulling on sterile gloves, humming our childhood lullaby like nothing was wrong. I don't know how I found the strength. Maybe it was terror, maybe it was rage, maybe it was the tiny part of me that refused to let her win. When the nurse accidentally knocked over the crash cart, causing chaos, I ripped the fore from my arm and ran barefoot down the hallway, blood dripping, gown flapping open, alarm screaming behind me. I hid in a supply closet for 3 hours, shaking, crying, trying to understand how the person I loved most in the world could want me dead. That night, locked in a cheap motel, I went through Elena's old laptop she'd left at my apartment weeks earlier. What I found destroyed me. Emails, bank transfers, life insurance policies taken out in my name, beneficiary, Elena Marie Carter. Messages to my doctors pretending to be me, pushing for urgent surgery. A forum post on the dark web titled, "Looking for discreet surgeon. Family matter." She wasn't just planning to let me die. She was going to make it look like medical malpractice and collect millions. The sister who braided my hair, who kept every birthday card I ever gave her, who promised to love me forever, had been poisoning my mind against my fiancé, isolating me, waiting for the perfect moment to cash me in. I didn't sleep for days. I could barely breathe. Every happy memory we shared now felt like a lie. My heart didn't just break. It shattered into 1,000 pieces I wasn't sure I'd ever put back together. But heartbreak has a way of turning into something sharper when your life is on the line. I didn't go to the police right away. That would have been too easy for her. Instead, I gathered every screenshot, every transfer record, every fake email. I contacted the nurse who saved me, Lily, and together we built an unbreakable case. Then I did the one thing Elena never expected. I walked into the hospital board meeting of the pharmaceutical company where she was about to be promoted to regional director. I brought a projector, and I played everything. The forged signatures, the insurance fraud, the dark web posts, the recorded phone call where she laughed about how easy it would be once I was taken care of. I watched her perfect mask crack in real time as her bosses, her mentors, her future, all of it collapsed around her. She tried to scream that it was fake, that I was crazy, but the evidence was overwhelming. Within weeks, she lost her job, her license, her freedom. The trial was airtight. Attempted murder carries a long sentence. The last time I saw her, she was in orange on the other side of glass, begging me to drop the charges. I leaned toward the phone and said the words I'd practiced for months. You taught me blood isn't always thicker than water, Elena. Sometimes it's just poison. Then I hung up. Some people ask if I feel guilty. I don't. I feel free. I learned that the people closest to us are capable of the deepest betrayal, but we are also capable of the greatest strength. I rebuilt my life, piece by piece. I found love again, real love, with someone who chooses me every single day. And every year, on the anniversary of the day I ran, I send Lily flowers. Because one stranger's courage saved my life. So if you're watching this and someone you trust is slowly pulling you away from everyone else, if they're making decisions for your own good, if something feels off deep in your gut, listen to it. Your life might depend on it. And remember, the sweetest revenge isn't destruction. It's survival. It's walking in the sun when they thought you'd be 6 feet under. It's living so brightly that their darkness can never touch you again. I'm Sophia. And I'm still here. Thank you for listening to my story. If it helps even one person trust their instincts and walk away from danger, then every tear was worth it. I'll see you in the next one. Stay safe out there.